Hey guys, it's Eric, and thank you for joining us. I wanted to take a little time to talk to you guys about my hunting season this year. I went out Friday after Thanksgiving and sat in the ground blind. It was raining a little bit. I didn't see anything, didn't hear anything. There were a couple of guys in that same area I found out when I came out of the woods. I didn't talk to them, but saw them. And I didn't hear any shots. So I don't think we saw anything that day. Move you guys out of the wind. Hopefully you can hear me okay. It's kind of windy today. So then I went out Saturday after Thanksgiving and sat in my tree stand till about 9:30ish, and then headed off up the ridge and into woods there. And as I was circling back, there's kind of like a path you can walk on there. Down that path, doe came out about 40 yards from behind some mountain laurel in front of me, and then turned away from me, and I drew up and I stood there and I waited and I waited, and then another doe popped out and I drew on her and fired, and I saw a twig break about 2 inches over her back, and I missed. Turns out there were 5 deer there in a row. Well, they all scampered off, and I didn't get another shot at them. And I later looked down the shotgun and realized that I was setting up my sight picture wrong. Instead of looking straight down the barrel, I was looking a little bit over the top of it, which caused the gun to point up a little bit, and it was my fault. It was my fault I missed. But that's not why you're watching. You're watching to find out why I shortened my season. So let me get my hunting stuff out of the truck and get that down to the basement, and then we'll go over that. Come on, boy. So, why did I end my season? I ended my season this week. There's about 2.5 weeks left to our deer season here in Connecticut. But about 3 weeks ago, I was in upstate New York talking to a guy up there, and he had mentioned that they had found the virus in deer. And I didn't think too much of it. I heard it was in the Midwest. And I put it in the back of my mind and didn't think much of it. But I heard an interview with the two guys that did the study. Now, I will leave a link to the study that I'm referencing. It was by the USDA, division of the USDA, and these two scientists did a study of New York, Pennsylvania, I believe Michigan and Wisconsin. And in that study, they found that 40% of the deer in those states tested for antibodies, which means they were exposed to the virus. And in another study, or this study in Iowa, I haven't discerned that much. At one point, 80% of the deer tested positive for being infected. So that was concerning, and I heard this straight from the scientists who did the study. Now, they said that there's no evidence that you can get COVID from deer, and that's probably true, but when they say they have no evidence of it, that means nobody's gotten COVID from deer, and they have no evidence that you can't. If you've been following our channel, you know that my wife Melissa is an organ donor, and I take a lot of precautions because of that. Missy is the world to me, and I take my role as husband and protector pretty seriously. And although I'm not necessarily worried about getting the virus from a deer, because if I harvest a deer, the deer's not going to be breathing on me. And I would wear gloves when field dressing. Really, my big concern was consuming the meat. Now, I've heard people say there's no evidence that there's a problem as long as you cook it properly. But the virus is relatively something new. I don't know that I would get the virus from eating the meat, but I don't want to get sick either. I'm just in that place where I'm not sure. There's too many unanswered questions. And I talked about it with Missy, and I really agonized over this for quite a while, because I don't want to give up on this season, and perfecting my skills as a hunter is very, very important to me, and is going to be really important when we get down to Arkansas to the Homestead. So I was really torn on what to do, but in the end, me and Missy talked about it, and if we had chickens and a chicken came up lame or looked sick in some way and either died, or I felt I needed to cull that chicken to protect the rest of the flock, would I eat that chicken? Would I put it in the pot? Same with rabbit, same with pig, same with any livestock we would have on our homestead. Even though I didn't know why that animal was sick or what it was sick for, would I consume the meat? And my answer was no, I would not. Now, deer have had Lyme disease for a long time, but Lyme disease has been around for a long time, and we're well aware of the precautions that you need to take with Lyme disease in wild deer. But the virus is something new, and I just felt that it would be prudent to put a pause on this season and pick up next season when maybe we know a little bit more information. Hey Rocco, you guys want to go for a walk? Where's Bailey? We're going to take the dogs for a walk, and we're going to finish this conversation, guys. Hey, you two want to go for a walk? Come on. Come on. Come on. Alright guys, we're going to go for a walk now. So, I know what you're thinking. Eric, don't be a wussy. Everything will be fine. And trust me guys, I kind of feel a little bit like a wussy for not pursuing this last 2.5 weeks of the season. And again, I come back to, would I eat the meat? And then I checked into with our wildlife commission here in Connecticut, and they're not really testing. So it's not like I can go and harvest a deer and bring it to a check station and have it tested to see if everything's okay. So that's kind of a concern as well. Now, do I feel bad? Do I feel a little like a failure for not keeping going with this season? I do. Do I feel like I might be being paranoid when it comes to the virus? I do feel like I'm being paranoid. But that really doesn't change anything, because what's really important to me is keeping Melissa and my family safe. And that's a big concern for me. So my season is over for 2021. I did not get a deer. I saw deer plenty of times, and that's a plus. That's a milestone. I'm seeing deer while hunting. I am confident that I am managing my scent control properly. I'm confident that I'm getting in and out of my ground blind and tree stand stealthily enough that I am not scaring the potential deer away. Oh, you guys can't see me that way. Let me go this way. Alright, there we go. So those were big moments of learning that I'm going to take with me. And the camouflage clothes I'm using, those are fine. I learned a lot this year from my experience in the woods, and that's very important. And I did get a couple shots off this year. Both times they were misses. I analyzed what I did there, and I know what I did wrong. And that's a learning moment. If you've been following my hunting and fishing playlist, you'll know that I haven't hunted in 35 years, and I don't have a mentor that's really helping me out with my hunting or showing me the do's and don'ts, or that I can really bounce a lot of ideas off of. So it's kind of trial and error. I've had some achievements and I've had some errors, and I hope that I've learned from them. So let me know, guys, what you think. Do you think I'm making the right decision? Have you harvested deer and consumed it already in the 2021 season, and everything's been fine? Did you find when you field dressed your deer that there were issues inside that I should be aware of, things that I should be looking out for, you know, other than polyps on the liver and the normal things that you would be looking for? Did you find issues with the lungs, with the intestines? Leave me a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to get some input on this subject. And spring turkey is not that far away, so we're going to pick up again next year with that and see how it goes. So thanks for following along, guys, on this effort to improve my skills as a hunter. Again, I'll leave that playlist up top. Please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and hit that bell. It'll let you know every time we got a video coming out. Alright guys, till next time, good luck with your season, and we'll see you next time.